So a bit of petty revenge. We rented a townhouse in Australia that seemed decent, until you move in and realize all the crap that doesn't work. Worst of all, the landlords clearly don't give a toss about the house. They haven't done any renovations or repairs over the past 6+ years since they purchased it. I couldn't fathom how anyone would shit on an expensive property they own. But each to their own, I guess. They don't even want to investigate the basement garage leak every time it rains, or how the roof is not compliant because it's screwed directly onto the batons, no insulation, moisture barrier, etc., and is causing some nasty leaks and black mold outside the master room. Anyway, I reached my limit when the landlords refused to replace the aircon. That's after 3 weeks of ghosting the agent trying to get them to replace it. The stupid excuse of an aircon that's now more shade of yellow than white, leaks and sprays water onto us, does not cool. Just always on full blast pushing room temperature air while it's 30°C+ inside. Since we're stuck for a year with this mess, I decided to take this to the next level, and in my form of revenge, ensure the owners make as little profit as they can from us. Every fortnight or so I throw another thing at them and say it's a hazard that needs immediate fixing or else the proper authorities will hear about it. That heat pump? Well, I have a heart condition, and if you don't resolve it within the next 1 week, we'll file a dispute with the RTA, Residential Tenants Authority, inuring fines, and drag your name, address to the mud. So the agent finally forces them to replace the aircon with a new one that works. A bigger model that didn't initially fit and needed extra work and cost to install smiley face. Power plugs not working? Well, that's a potential fire hazard, especially with the black burnt residue around it. Thank you, Electroboom. Get a Sparky over to replace them and of course do their tests to produce a certificate of compliance. Mandatory certificates incurs additional costs. Smell of burnt plastic in the living room? Bring in the Sparky again to replace the faulty down light transformer that just melted its enclosure, and demand all other 15 be replaced too, since it's a fire hazard, which is a big no-no in my book. Ant infestation? Bring the pest control guys over and spray a barrier inside and outside. Letting ads showing curtains in the house, but there were none when we moved in? Not my problem. Submit a notice to remedy breach, giving them 7 days to comply, or I go to the RTA. Then have them spend a few thousand on getting new ones fitted all over, otherwise you're in breach of the contract for not providing what was advertised. I think this stung them the most. Curtains are expensive. Don't want to fix the roof that has no cavity, is installed the wrong way around and screwed directly onto the trusses, with no batons, and is full of mold outside? Well, I'll make sure in writing that the agent, and by proxy, you know, so legally you cannot sell the house in the future unless you fix it or disclose the issue. The list goes on, and it went on for about 6 months with them being forced to spend, I reckon, a bit less than if not the same in what we paid them weekly in rent. Just as things are starting to calm down now, I give a final middle finger and hand over a break lease notice. 2 weeks, as we finally purchased a property. So now they have to spend more in advertising fees, waste time searching for another tenant, etc. What's that? You want me to clear the small garden of weeds? Sure thing. Enjoy the mixture of concentrated vinegar, salt, and weed killer everywhere. Good luck having anything else grow there. Oh, you want to book a viewing next week? Well, sorry, but 2 days before, I have COVID, which is a contagious illness, and as per health and safety laws, you'll have to postpone the viewings. The week after, oops, I infected my partner. Now she has COVID. Have to postpone again. Sorry. We finally left and they're stuck with an empty property losing money, about to start looking for other tenants. The icing on the cake. They forgot to bill us for our water usage since we moved in around 7 months ago. And I did ask in writing and verbally about that early on since it was in our contract, and was told, the owner hasn't provided the bills to us, agents. Well, they just tried to bulk bill me on the last day, and as per law, they can't charge me for any bills that are older than 4 weeks. And for last month's bill, they need to provide certificates that prove the house is water efficient. Another dollar cost they couldn't be bothered to do and gave up. If you don't take care of your house and tenants, then fuck off. You don't deserve one bit of sympathy. Some people should not be allowed to own rentals, but I blame the shitty lax laws here. I just feel bad for the next tenants that will be moving in.